Y'all, so I just about fell out when I saw the latest trailer from Prime Video called Swarm, which is a series about a young woman who becomes obsessed with the world's biggest pop star. Well, according to Entertainment Weekly, this series is inspired by Beyonce's fan base, the Beyhive. Just last week, I received a revelation about how witch covens that become extremely large are called hives. In my last post, we talked about how there's a deeper meaning to being a part of Beyonce's Beyhive, and how when you're listening to her music or attending her shows, you're actually participating in her rituals and coming into agreement with whatever spirits she's calling upon. So when I saw this trailer, I was just like, wow, what a coincidence. In the trailer, we're introduced to a character named Dre, who falls under a spell of the biggest pop star, Nyjah. His sister is played by Chloe Bailey, who is well known as Beyonce's protege, and the whole trailer just reeks of the Beyhive. Like, it seems like such a subliminal message of what's going on. In the trailer, you can see that Dre loses her mind from the music that she's listening to, goes into some kind of psychosis and starts unaliving people. Like, it's really bad. Like, if you know me, I don't believe in coincidences, but don't just take my word for it. If you haven't seen it already, I am going to insert it in this video, but I will give a disclaimer. I did edit out all of the cuss words and as much of the excessive violence as I could. So I will give a disclaimer that you're not spiritually strong. You can skip ahead. I did go back and forth about whether or not I should post the trailer, but I do think it's important to recognize the correlation between this trailer and the discussion we just had about the deeper meaning of saying you're a part of the Beyhive or supporting Beyonce. If you haven't already seen it, here it is.
If I got to do her makeup, I wouldn't be able to touch her face. My hands would be shaking so hard. You still tweeting from that Swarm account? Mm-hmm. She's not like everybody else. She knows what we're thinking and she gives it a name. She's a goddess. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. I gotta go, Dre. I can't stay here with you. Why are you doing this to me?
I had to ask you to leave.
Try to strip and spin it. What do you think she's doing right now? Who's your favorite artist? You're a killer bee. Part of the swarm. Talk about Nyjah. You get stung. They are not your friends. Those are some crazy fans.
This is feeling a little bit sketchy.
You know, I always knew you were gonna be something. I was like, she's so weird. You got a spare in the trunk. No! You got a dead body in there or something? Who is your favorite artist? You have to meet her one day. Promise me. We will. I promise. I don't know, I kind of like her sister better. She seems more like, you know, spiritual.
So I know there's going to be some people out there who are going to be like, oh, it's just a trailer. Oh, people are just trolling the Beyhive. But y'all, like, there's just way too many correlations here. Like, first of all, Chloe Bailey is starring in the movie, and everyone knows that Beyonce runs Chloe Bailey's career. So even if Beyonce's name isn't in the credits, she had to endorse this series one way or another. Number two, like, there's just way too many things referencing the Beyhive. Like, first of all, you got Nyjah riding on a horse wearing crystal silver attire like we seen Beyonce do when she promoted her Renaissance album. You see the Running Scared 2 tour, and everyone knows that Beyonce did the On the Run 1 and 2 tour. We've also got Dre in a manic state while wearing an H-Town sweatshirt. And we all know, well, maybe we don't all know, but Beyonce regularly shouts out H-Town in reference to her hometown of Houston, Texas. We've also got just so many things, you guys. Like, in the trailer, the way that Nyjah is casting spells is by doing these weird dance rituals on stage. And like, what does Beyonce do on stage? Like, there's even that reference to Beyonce's sister in the scene where the girl is like, you know, I think I like her sister better. She seems more spiritual. Like, that was in reference to Solange. What worries me about this trailer is what it could possibly inspire members of the Beyhive. Like, there is this unspoken need to prove that you're the most loyal to Beyonce. So when I'm looking at the comments under the trailer, I see people like joking around, laughing. The Beyhive's like, oh, they made a movie about us. And so I'm a little worried about what this trailer could potentially inspire. But other than that, again, this was just more confirmation for me. Like, one week we're talking about the Hive and what the real meaning is, and then the next week there's a trailer released about this Hive, aka Swarm, which I forgot to mention. It's rumored that this series was originally supposed to be called Hive, but they went with Swarm instead to not make it too obvious. But if you watch the trailer, it's obvious who we're talking about here. So I don't know how much more proof you guys need that the spiritual world is real. Spiritual power is real. You can get your sources from two places, good or evil, Jesus or the devil. If you're not getting it from Jesus, you're getting it from the devil. Remember, Satan comes as an angel of a light. He will disguise himself as whatever he can to get you to not follow the truth. He'll disguise himself as culture. He'll disguise himself as African tradition. He'll disguise himself as your ancestors. But all you have to do is cry out to God and ask him, what is the truth? Who are you? And he'll tell you. Do you think it's coincidence, or do you think this is more confirmation that there's a darker side to Beyonce's Beyhive? Last video, if you haven't checked that out, it was the Tiffany Montgomery and Beyonce drama.
Hundreds of folks are going to come here to witness the Beyonce Mass, bringing together secular music and a religious message to tell a story of empowerment for particularly women of color, but for anyone who happens to sing praises to the goddess herself, Beyonce. Here we go.
Y'all, I'm out of breath because we sing Beyonce in church. Holy cow.
What can you tell me about the progressive nature of Grace Cathedral?
I think a lot of the people who show up tonight are people of color, LGBT people.
Are you a Christian going to Beyonce's concert?
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that singing along to their song because they want some clout. Why you think that man called himself Jehovah? It was short for Jehovah. When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all are part of that lady Beyhive? And you call yourself a Christian? May the dealings of the Lord come upon you. You think this is small stuff. You think you not going to that lady's concert is not an initiation. You think you not going to that concert is not a ritual. You think you not going to concert is not a gate. That entire concert is a gate. How dare you? Call yourself a Christian. I'm telling you, may the dealings of the Lord come upon any Christian with a platform that is using mixture this year. May the dealings of the Lord come upon